deposit slip, a deposit of 150 kwacha non-refundable application fees should be deposited to Atlas Mara Bank Chipata, name Mwami College of Nursing, account number 008040154216. Completed application form should be sent to the college on the following address: Mwami College of Nursing and Midwifery, Private Bag 5, Chipata, or email to mwamischoolofnursing@mail.com. Applications will be received from 24th July to 26th August 2022. For more details, please call the college during working hours only on 0975 303331.
Have asked government to consider empowering the skilled differently abled persons. Speaking to Hope News Mukushi District Forum for People with Disabilities chairperson John Kalunga said there are a number of differently abled persons who are skilled in the district who must be empowered so that they do not roam the streets asking for alms. We have more in this story. We will return to that story later. Moving on, some business owners along Mungwi Road are calling on the local authorities to intervene in garbage collection in the area to curb the dumping of waste along the main road. They said residents from George Compound are the ones who dump garbage along the road. A check by Hope News crew found heaps of garbage covering the pedestrian way. And Lusaka City Council Public Health Director Victor Kagoli said the council will clean the area and ensure residents pay garbage collection fee going forward. We have more in the following report.
This is the current situation here on Mungu Road, as part of the pedestrian way is covered by garbage. While here, the pedestrian way has fully been covered by garbage.
The traders along this road say residents from George Compound are the ones who dump garbage along the road.
Ndiye wantu wetu maona maningi kairi monga kuno ku area sendie peti matandalira pano pa SBJ so kambotandara patuona wachoka huku wa cross Navo Road waendo ta pa gate hapa wanambira mkati wambobwera panja ma sembe at least uti bamaenda ko mkati muri vima migodi semba mafukirako vija semba at least manje problem ye ipetse kamaningi nyakuti rain season ya papa mazura manzi then vishara vimangara manzi manje pankara vima sima daipa vitani vambobwera manje kuno ku road as munga pe mungaone mwe ka vishara vifika na ku road hapa so tifuna koda ndizo maningi
ko veninga kambiye ko munga pali chichara ngangambye kuti tingafuneka ba Lusaka City Council batandizire because as you can see papeze ka bafana which is ero vishara vinapaka maningi namubulera na roadside and there are restaurants here so nongoma customers anambopesa ti munga kuma restaurant wanambotita wakai because of vishara mainza amboshika munga yabwera maningi so vetinga pempe wa Lusaka City Council boti yole lako chef shara hivi basivione kamushi ero healthy simaningi so
first kuno kufunika ba council kozi kuri beba council that's why abantu bayindo zitaira beka mabini kunkara kuri ba council ndiye joro ngani pamande wa maboro pita mabini bantu bayika pamozi ba council aboro nyamura bayindo taya ku mabini maya kuri beba council wantu that's why banambo zipangira chebeka mabini kwa mbotaya pa road.
However, Lusaka City Council Director Public Health Victor Kagoli says council is preparing to clean this place as soon as possible.
We know that there are people who say, no, our premises, don't produce waste. Unfortunately, we will not go by that because if the premises by operation does not produce waste, and the people within that premises eat and all those, they still bring the waste within their premises, and it must be managed to an extent that it will not cause any unsightly condition around about. We have seen a lot of waste accumulating along roads. We know that the generators are either households or business premises. We will reach out. We will begin with the business premises. We will reach out to the households so that every other person pays for the waste they generate. And waste management is a very cost business, so it cannot be done without such responsibility from the general public.
It is hopeful that the local authority will move in on time. Esnat Sikazwa, Hope News, Lusaka.
Thank you, Esnat, for that report. We now return to our earlier story in Mukushi, where a Forum for People with Disabilities have asked government to consider empowering the skilled differently abled persons. Speaking to Hope News Mukushi District, Forum for People with Disabilities Chairperson John Kalunga said there are a number of differently abled persons who are skilled in the district who must be empowered so that they do not roam the streets asking for alms. Let's join our reporter in this story.
Forum for People with Disabilities in Mukushi, through its chairperson, John Kalunga, has asked government to consider empowering skilled persons with disabilities.
Muno mu district mumyesu natukwata ama disabled abengi abakwete ama skills aya kutiranga kwali kuti batuchitako empower awo kuti bamona government then bareikala fye mumayanda bareikala fye bareisafe barelomba fye.
Adding to this appeal was Devinyoni, a concerned resident of Mukushi's Kasokota area.
I'm looking at the disabled, the marginalized. Yeah, let the government, through CDF committee, that they should look at the vulnerable people, especially the disabled. Those people should be given an upper hand in terms of access to CDF funds. Other than the way lately we have seen that the disabled most of the time, they are the last people to look at.
This reporter took time to visit Kunda Kalimanshi, a blacksmith who clearly put it on record that resources to boost his business has been hard to find. It will indeed be important for government to empower the differently abled persons so that they do not flood the streets asking for alms. Joseph Siambehi for Hope News in Mukushi.
Minister of Transport and Logistics, Honorable Frank Musevatayali, MP, has called on Zambians not to undermine the significance of the land reserve for airports or airstrips dotted around the country. Honorable Tayali said these facilities are of vital significance toward the national development and should not be interfered with. He said this in reference to the Kasompe airstrip incident in Chingola, where encroachers had their illegal structures demolished by the council. He was speaking in an interview in Doha, Qatar.
I would just like to also relate this visit to what has happened at Kasompe, where some of our citizens had the misfortune of having their houses demolished. Now, the obvious reason for such is that there are laws that govern civil aviation, and that land surrounding airports and airstrips are very strategic pieces of land where we cannot allow encroachment for obvious reasons. That first and foremost, it is for the safety of those that illegally build around the airport. Now, this notion of taking it for granted that an aircraft is able to easily land and take off is not always the case. Should there peradventure happen that an aircraft should career off the runway, we would then have a national disaster where citizens that have illegally occupied land in such a security, highlighted area is concerned, would lose lives. And this would have devastating consequences on our standing in the aviation family of the world, which we do not control as Zambia, because we are not an island, and that there are rules that govern or how these particular installations ought to be looked after. So therefore, citizens out there must appreciate that when we move to advise citizens to clear of such strategic portions of land, it is because of such reasons, as I have already alluded to, where the governing body, ICAO, should they have ever undertaken an impromptu visit, inspection, to see how we are looking after this particular infrastructure, we run the risk of being isolated in the aviation sector, where countries would be advised that it's not just about the airspace of our country, okay? Airlines would be discouraged to fly over the airspace because of the unlikely event of, in an emergency situation, what in the aviation sector is known as a Mayday situation. If an aircraft is not able to make it up to Lusaka, to an international airport, they look towards the nearest facility which may be able to save lives by having an emergency landing. It is for this reason that we are not going to play politics with people's lives. Going forward, there should be no local authority that should condone such levels of lawlessness, of encroachment in protected areas, such as airports and airstrips.
Now, in a sad development, a 13-year-old girl has demonstrated before the Choma Magistrate Court how her biological father pushed her underwear aside to have carnal knowledge on his matrimonial bed. This is in a case where Peter Habenzu, 33, stands charged with the offense of incest contrary to the laws of Zambia. Mr. Habenzu had unlawful sex with his biological daughter between January and February 2022. The juvenile, who could not control her tears, told the court that whilst her mother was away in Siavonga, her father asked her to sleep with her younger sibling in his matrimonial bedroom around 20 hours while he slept on the chair. However, the juvenile said she was surprised to find her father sleeping on the bed, who then pushed her pants to the side and had carnal knowledge of her. In giving her testimony, the juvenile revealed that her father had carnal knowledge of her twice when her mother was still away. When asked if her father was before the court, the juvenile nodded but could not face him, with tears rolling down her face. When the mother was called to the stand, she told the court that her younger child disclosed to her what had transpired while she was away, to which her daughter confirmed. She testified that she confided in her brother, who later advised her to report the matter to the police, and the accused was apprehended. Resident Magistrate Ethel Piri has since adjourned the matter to 6th September 2022 for the continuation of the hearing. In other news, a Lusaka woman who has been in the business of crushing stones for 39 years has called on the government for help. Matilda Nakaonga said she faces numerous challenges to feed her children and grandchildren due to lack of finances, as she goes days without making a single sale. Ms. Nakaonga, who is also a widow, said the stone crushing business is no longer fit for her as age is catching up with her. She said she no longer has the energy to continue with the act, and further stated that she also faces a number of health complications resulting from the stone particles. She has since appealed to government for assistance. We have more in this report.
A senior citizen who has been crushing stones since 1983 for a living has appealed to government for aid. The woman who trades along Mungwi Road lamented that her stone crushing business is no longer sustaining her family, as she hardly makes any sales, a situation that she considers to be sad, especially that she has to feed her dependents from the same business. She explained that lack of employment lured her into the business of stone crushing 39 years ago. However, she can no longer cope owing to the fact that she is becoming of age and her energy levels keep dropping and her health is at risk. She has since called on government to help her with plans that can see her start up a different kind of business that will sustain her family.
Pamenilili hapa namba mwete 3. Mavuto onchito zavuta. Tomato naesa, tomato sienda. Inajailika na wene wake, setina jaila miala. Mfuna tandizo. Yamene wazao na uti maezi yamene na nkalapa. Nanganike pa bwino kuti nkalapa. Nina bana bazukuru. Niwani tiya selamo wana bali 4 kusukuru. Yamene ni Tazi nangu sinimagulisa. Pesa tazi nangu sinagulise. Tazi nangu nagulisa kamozi kasaka mwene kalili yaka. Koma, nyala zili na dust. Nifuna tandizo. Tazi nangu yamapasa chifuva. Nyala. Nakula pano. Nifuna tandizo government banga nitandizireko. Pamvu nili zienda zisila. Sinibwerera pamene nambira kupwanya myala. Pamvu zienda zichepekerani.
Daniel Chilema, reporting for Hope News in Lusaka.
Coming up after the break, we have the Zambia police that have arrested Jonathan Mukwetu. Don't go away.
The board and management of Mayuka Adventist Mission Hospital in Kalabo, Western Province, Zambia, is inviting applications for the position of hospital administrator at Mayuka Adventist Mission Hospital. Applicants should meet the following requirements in order to be shortlisted for interviews. 1. Should have a grade 12 school certificate or equivalent with a bachelor's degree in business administration, finance, accounting, or related field. 2. Should have experience in health care management of a recognized institution. 3. Understanding of project management will be an added advantage. 4. Team builder with sound interpersonal skills and ability to network with other partners. 5. Age not more than 50 years, if not currently employed as denominational worker. 6. Applicants from within and outside the country should be willing to work under church conditions within Southern Zambia Union Conference. 7. Should be well recommended as one having a strong commitment to the values, vision, and mission espoused by Mayuka Adventist Hospital. Key responsibilities for Mayuka Adventist Hospital Administrator. 1. To provide overall supervision over staff and patient while promoting a conducive environment professionally and spiritually. 2. To serve as liaison officer among governing bodies such as government, NGOs, and the church. 3. To oversee the development and implementation of relevant programs and policies for patient care, quality assurance, and departmental activities. 4. To mobilize financial, technical, and human resource for the operations and sustainability of the hospital. 5. To prepare, implement, and periodically review the financial plans of the hospital in consultation with the governing board. Applications with CVs and contact details of at least 2 traceable referees should reach the Executive Secretary, Southern Zambia Union Conference, P.O. Box 31309, Lusaka, not later than August 31st, 2022, using the following email addresses: stumbaetom@gmail.com, amybukowa@gmail.com. For inquiries, please reach us on 0977 346516 or 0973 128883 or 0979 684746.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. The Zambia police have arrested and charged Jonathan Mukwetu Mubanga, age 27, of Kanyama compound, who was on the run after stealing a 5-year-old girl from Chawama compound in Lusaka and was later discovered at his friend's house in Shimabala area of Kafiwa district. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga says the suspect was apprehended from Chipili district in Wapula province after a manhunt was launched. Mr. Hamonga says the suspect is currently detained in police custody and will appear in court soon. Mr. Hamonga said this in an interview with Hope News in Lusaka today. The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, has commended the Seventh-day Adventist Church for engaging the commission on spreading awareness of drug abuse and money laundering to its members. DEC Public Relations Officer Matthias Kamanga says the church has involved them in making their members aware of issues that are affecting the community. He has urged all other churches to emulate the SDA Church and invite the Commission to sensitize members on money laundering and drug abuse. Mr. Kamanga said this in an interview with Hope News in Lusaka today.
We had put up a Facebook post where we indicated that especially during this holiday, when school children are at home and those that are in boarding schools are back from boarding schools, it was a good opportunity for people to invite the Drug Enforcement Commission to conduct various awareness activities. And one of the greatest responses that we got was from the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which has invited to their camps. Those that are having their annual camps during the month of August. And just in Lusaka alone, the Commission has about 5 or so different appointments, of which some have been done and others are yet to be done. Across the country, we're receiving requests from various conferences that are conducting their camps, and others just on a Saturday when they are having their worship, they would invite us for us to go and give a talk. For this, I'd like to commend the church, the SDA, for this particular initiative. The church brings together people from various walks of life. They bring together the rich, the poor, the young, the old, and the like. And so it is a fertile ground for us as a commission to disseminate this information. And so we would like to commend the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the leadership, for this initiative, and we call upon even other churches to emulate what SDA is doing so that we are able to disseminate this information to the youth and even to the elders. We have various programs that target the youth, the peer educators, but we also have a particular program that targets the parents. The problem of drug abuse that we have in the country is quite high, it's quite big. There are a lot of youths who are involved in drug and substance abuse, and much of it is because probably the parents don't know what discussions to have with their children. And so this move by the SDA is highly commendable, and would like to even recommend it to other churches so that we bring help to the people that really need it.
We now move to Bauleni compound, where a self-sponsored singing group of the Seventh-day Adventist Church carried out a sensitization and cleaning program at Tambale Market. Golden Vocals, that is the singing group, and their foundation manager, Audrey Chiowa, says having a conducive, clean and healthy trading area is admirable too, for it attracts customers from all angles of life. And Golden Vocals Foundation Business and Development Manager, Colin Mayuka, says it is important to have a clean and healthy environment. Our reporter brought us this report.
They say cleanliness is godliness. This is what the Golden Vocals Foundation believes in. Last Sunday, the Golden Vocals held a community service by cleaning Tambala Market in Bauleni compound. Golden Vocals Foundation leadership says it is vital to keep surroundings clean, including trading places, as it helps to boost the businesses for traders.
We, as the Golden Vocals Foundation, are here today to clean up our environment and to make the lives of people around this marketplace favorable to do their business. We, as the Golden Vocals Foundation, are an NGO registered to connect people to Christ through our music. But once in a while, we work with cooperating partners to clean up the environment and do whatever else that needs to be done around our community. As you know, every day there are all sorts of needs that human beings require: health, food, and other spiritual needs. So Golden Vocals Foundation is here to make sure that we work with whoever is willing to work with us so that we move forward together as a people and as a nation. Thank you very much for listening to this.
When you look at the days we're living in, you do not know what pandemic will come next. And so having a clean environment is very imperative. So when we start as a group, we looked around for a place which is not, you know, with good sanitation. And we came up with this place. Really, when you look behind me here, you see a lot of filthy that is not supposed to be near a marketplace where people come to buy their food. There's a lot of pollution that is caused here by this garbage people are throwing. And so we thought we could also help the local authorities to clean up this place. Yes. So we are basically here to clean up the place so that at least it can look in a, you know, a good environment to trade in, a good environment even to just pass through, because the air we breathe is affected by the environment that is there.
We are here in Baulen at Tambala Market. One of the things that we need to do as a community and as groups in the Seventh-day Adventist Church is to ensure that we begin the sensitization of a clean and healthy environment. Very soon we'll be going into the rain season, and we're very aware that sanitation is key in ensuring that we do not get certain diseases that come because of the rains. It would be nice if we begin to hold campaigns, sensitization, to ensure that people clean up their environment. While we continue to put these efforts and supporting the efforts of the government and other stakeholders, we should also at a personal level begin to ensure that we keep a clean and healthy environment.
In Tambala Market, traders thanked the Golden Vocals Foundation for the gesture they have shown.
What we've done, I can't forget Vidia and the choir entire for what we've done on this market. I'm very grateful, and continue the same spirit. And the God should remember you for what you're doing.
Mulimo mupati ngumwaberega ba Golden Vocals mwamireza amulelege mulimo oyo awindirire.
Esna Sikazo, Hope News, Lusaka.
That interesting story from Esnat brings us to the close of our news bulletin. But before we go, here is another look at our headlines. Honorable Tayali reminds citizens not to encroach on state land. Daughter defiled by her biological father. Zambia police arrest Jonathan Mukwetu. DEC commends Seventh-day Adventist Church. I was your newscaster, Delaine Mayuka. My sign language interpreter was Sharon Agufuna. On behalf of the entire production team, it's goodbye for now, but please stay tuned to Hope Channel Zambia.